Eternal vows. They met by chance on a misty evening, under a flickering street lamp near an old, forgotten graveyard. He was an artist, searching for inspiration in the eerie beauty of the place. She was a mysterious woman, her pale skin glowing faintly in the dim light, her long black hair cascading down her back. She wore a simple white dress, and her eyes carried a sadness that drew him in. "Looking for something?" she asked softly. "Maybe," he replied, surprised by her presence. "But I think I just found it." She introduced herself with a wistful smile and spoke of the history of the graveyard, how it was once a thriving park where couples met to declare their love. Her voice was hypnotic, and he felt as though he had known her forever. They talked for hours, sitting on a moss-covered bench. She listened to his stories of painting, his struggles with loneliness, and his search for meaning. She shared her dreams of love, of a life filled with beauty and connection. As the night deepened, he asked if they could meet again. Her smile was bittersweet. "I'm always here," she said. "Come back tomorrow." For weeks, he returned to the graveyard every evening. She was always waiting, and their connection grew deeper with each passing night. He brought his canvas and began to paint her, a vision of grace and sorrow under the moonlight. One night, as he worked on the painting, he noticed something strange. No matter how perfectly he captured her face, her eyes seemed to shift on the canvas, as if the sadness within them was alive. "Why do you look so sad?" he asked her one evening. She hesitated before answering. "Because love doesn't always last. But promises do." He didn't understand her cryptic words, but his heart ached for her. That night, under the stars, he confessed his love. "I don't care what you're hiding, where you're from, or why you're sad. I love you, and I'll do anything to keep you with me." Her eyes filled with tears. "Would you really?" "Yes," he said without hesitation. "Then promise me something," she whispered. "Promise you'll never stop loving me, no matter what you discover about me." "I promise," he vowed, holding her trembling hands. The next evening, he arrived at the graveyard with a surprise, a bouquet of her favorite flowers, lilies. But she wasn't there. For the first time, the bench was empty. He called out her name, searched the winding paths, but she was nowhere to be found. Desperation led him to the caretaker's cottage at the edge of the graveyard. "I'm looking for someone," he told the old man. "A woman who comes here every night. She wears white, has long black hair." The caretaker's face grew pale. "You've seen her?" "Yes." "Do you know her?" The old man sighed heavily. "Son, the woman you're describing, she died here over a century ago. Her lover broke his vow to her, and she's been waiting ever since." The artist didn't believe him, refusing to accept the truth. He ran back to the bench and found a note lying there, written in her delicate handwriting. "I waited for you to find me, to see me for who I truly am. Now that you have, will you still keep your promise? Will you love me forever, even if forever is different for us?" Tears streamed down his face. "I meant every word," he whispered. And then, as if summoned by his devotion, she appeared. Her form was faint, her edges blurred, but her eyes were filled with the same love he had seen every night. "Are you afraid of me now?" she asked softly. "Never," he said, taking her ethereal hand in his. From that night on, the artist disappeared from the world. Some say he went mad, losing himself in his grief. Others believe he joined her, his soul bound to hers in the graveyard where they first met. Visitors to the graveyard sometimes claim to see a man painting beneath the old street lamp, a woman in white watching over him with a tender smile. True love transcends time, even death. But some promises are stronger than life itself.
Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe.